Hello, and welcome to another episode of In Just 1 Minute or So. Today we continue with the fresh ideas for leadership and workplace culture. This is from the Achieve Center for Leadership, and the authors are Eric Stutzman, Wendy Loewen, and Randy Grieser. The topic today is why vulnerability makes a better leader. So you may have your own experience, but this is a usual one. For instance, a new staff person made a mistake that cost the organization a few $100s, and understandably, this person was embarrassed and anxious about it. When the person told the boss what had happened, their response surprised me even. He said, "Thank you so much for telling me. I'll probably make a mistake by lunchtime today. Just last week, I sent out the contract with the wrong price on it that cost us nearly $1,000 in lost revenue. It's not a good feeling, and I don't want to do it again, so I've worked on improving my process so it doesn't happen again. I know you'll do the same. Thanks again for telling me." I suspect this short conversation was a memorable and impactful one for the new employee, as it was actually for me. It highlighted the importance and power of vulnerability. This conversation actually was a confirmation that I could speak openly with. Being a leader acknowledging their own mistake also has a significant impact on my own understanding of leadership. And for many years, I had the idea that a leader was a kind of superhero, one that knew it all, was close to perfect, had endless reserves of energy, and did not make mistakes. Sadly, many of us have been trained to believe that the best leaders need a larger-than-life persona, an air of perfection. And we have come to believe that we should reveal only the good parts of ourselves, to always be poised and polished, and to be like we have it all together. Vulnerability is often avoided by leaders, especially if we buy into the belief that it is a sign of weakness. However, this is not what being vulnerable as a leader entails. Brené Brown, a researcher who has spent the past 2 decades studying vulnerability, describes it as uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. These elements are all present in leadership. In a leadership role, we are sometimes unsure how our message or direction will be received. We take calculated risks where the outcomes are not guaranteed to be successful, and our emotional responses are always being watched. Most leaders know that uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure are part of what we signed up for. However, some leaders cover up these elements by being cool and aloof and putting on an air of superiority. As a result, they are perceived as inauthentic, which is the exact opposite of vulnerability. People are always looking for cues to see if they can relate and connect with those around them. No one connects with someone who stands on a pedestal, doesn't have any weaknesses, or never admits to make a mistake. Consciously or unconsciously, we are always deciding if the person warrants our trust by asking internal questions like, are they who they appear to be? Are they authentic? Are they honest? How we answer these questions helps us decide how vulnerable we will be with them and how much is safe to reveal. When we sense that someone is honest, authentic, and caring, we open ourselves up and come to trust them. Conversely, when we perceive someone as being inauthentic, we close off, retreat, and make sure that we keep ourselves safe. Many leaders I speak with feel disconnected, even with their own leadership team. We have often heard that it's lonely at the top. I believe a lack of vulnerability contributes to the feeling of isolation. Leaders that keep their struggles to themselves, that feel poorly about mistakes, and expend energy trying to play the part of the competent leader, ultimately that leads to a lack of connection and sense of loneliness. This same principle of vulnerability leading to connection and trust holds true for the relationship between leaders and staff as well. Staff are watching and waiting for us to show that we are humans, just like them. As leaders, it is our responsibility to model vulnerability. When we do, we build trust, which in turn creates the safety needed for our staff to be vulnerable themselves. When we do hear unsettling information from staff, such as something that they are struggling with or a mistake they made, we should recognize that they are being vulnerable and demonstrating their trust in us. How we respond will determine whether they continue to be open and honest with us or whether they close off. Vulnerability allows us to have honest and even difficult conversations that deepen our human connection. By embracing vulnerability, leaders and those we supervise are liberated from the need to exert unnecessary energy trying to maintain an unrealistic image. Instead, we can invest our efforts into building strong relationships and learning from our mistakes, which allows us to be good at working together. And this is what ultimately fuels organizational performance. So, what does vulnerability mean to you? And by the way, don't forget to watch Brené Brown's TED Talk, The Power of Vulnerability, even with your stuff. Thank you so much for watching today and see you in the next episode.